10mm pipe on heat pumps, does it work? Yes, it does. There seems to be a big misconception that if you've got 10mm pipe, you've got to have everything ripped out and redone and the full system repiped, which isn't the case. So let's take a look at it, and we'll kind of run through situations where we may need to upgrade some pipe, or ways around it if the 10mm pipe didn't work. So there's a few different variables what we look at when we're looking at 10mm pipe. The system's always going to need a specific flow rate, depending on, you know, different radiators are going to need different flow rates depending on the outputs of each room. I'm just going to do this in like layman's terms. It's not going to be the actual maths because I don't want to confuse anybody, but I'm just going to use like simple whole numbers just for the sake of this video so people can understand it. So we'll have a flow rate of the system. So let's say this system in this example needs 1000 litres per hour. Then we'll have pump head available, so that heat pump will have a pump inside of it, and it'll have so much pump head available depending on what flow rates is running through that system. So let's say this system's got 1000 litres per hour running through it, and at 1000 litres per hour then there's 50 pump head available, 50 kilopascals. So we'll use 1000 litres per hour and 50 kilopascals. And then another variable is what's the length of the pipe, what that flow rate's running through, and the fittings, how many fittings are on it. So let's just say all of these pipe lengths are the same and they have the same amount of fittings. Let's say the heat pump is at the end. Heat pump's at the end there. And that's the same on all of these. So up to your first radiator, it's gonna use 1000 litres per hour running through this bit. And let's say running through 5 meters of pipe at 1000 litres per hour on 28mm pipe, we lose, of that 50 pump head what we had available, we now lose 20 of that. So we'd have 30 left over. And now on the exact same system but a smaller pipe, so 22mm pipe, we've got the same length of pipe and same amount of fittings. Same again, 1000 litres per hour, but because it's a smaller pipe, where we lost 20 on that 28mm pipe, we now might lose 30. So we had 50 and we've lost 30, so now we've got 20 left over. And then on the 10mm pipe, you know, we might lose 40, so now we've just got 10 left over. And then through this bit of pipe, it's running 300 litres per hour and 28mm pipe. So we could say we lose 10 of that remaining pump head. So now we have 20 left. And on this one, we lose 15 of that remaining pump head. So then we have 5 left. And on this one, we lose 20 of the remaining pump head. So now we have nothing left on that one. So, and then once it's gone around this first radiator, this bit of pipe was carrying the 1000 litres per hour, but now we've run through this radiator what was 300 litres per hour. Now this bit of pipe is carrying the rest of the system, which is 700 litres per hour. And then further up this system, you might have one radiator what has 500 litres per hour, what needs 500 litres, and you might have one that needs 200 litres. And it's all relevant to the how much flow rate is that pipe carrying, how long is that pipe, how many fittings are on it, and you're gonna lose different amounts of that pump head. But with 10mm pipe, as long as you can get to that furthest away radiator, majority of the time the furthest away radiator, and you've still got some of this pump head available, then your 10mm pipe is absolutely fine. We've got systems with 10mm pipe on loads and loads of jobs. If you look at, we've just recently done a couple of customer interviews, Rinto and Brian, and both of them was on 10mm pipe. We've gone back and seen them a year later. I remember one of the very first system designs I completed for a heat pump. They had electric storage heater, so I was doing the full pipe layout and working out the pipe sizes needed. When I was working out, it actually was coming back that 10mm pipe would have been the perfect size to use in that central heating system what I was designing. It gave us the perfect velocities what we needed. The pressure losses was perfect. We had the pump head available, and I was like, what's going on here? 10mm pipe. And even I sent off to I had a chat with a couple of other engineers what I know, and sent over the design. I was like, will you take a look at this for us? It's saying coming back that 10mm pipe's perfect for this system. And yeah, it's just a case of doing your system design correctly, working out if you have enough pump head available. In a lot of cases you will have enough pump head available, and in a lot of cases you won't, and in some cases there's ways around it. You can, you can, where we've got pipe what's carrying a larger amount of flow rate, and we've got a lot of pressure loss in some part of the system, or leading to one of your radiators, we can upgrade sizes of that pipe work, so then we have less resistance in that pipe work and less pressure loss. So that's one way around things. Or another way around things is, you've got to think, the reason we didn't have this problem, but the reason this wasn't so important with boilers was because boilers run at a lot lower flow rates. So you didn't really get this situation so much, because it was running at much lower flow rates. This on a boiler where it's carrying 1,000 litres per hour, on a boiler it could have been 250 litres per hour, so it runs like 4 times faster on a heat pump. So if you imagine you've got pipe work running at 1,000 litres per hour, the smaller that pipe work goes, the more resistance you're going to get, and the more pressure loss you're going to get, and the more pump head you're going to lose. But yeah, with boilers we didn't really have that problem as much. But then another workaround is, if we can then put what's called hydraulic separation onto the system, and then the heat pump can run around the hydraulic separation, and we can run at lower flow rates then through the system. So then, rather than the system running at 1,000 litres per hour and we're getting too much pressure loss and losing too much pump head, we can change that system to run at a lower flow rate, and then design the system around that lower flow rate, and take it into account when sizing emitters and things like that. But yeah, it's 10mm pipes not a problem. Just get somebody who understands system design, and you won't have no issues with that.